You can't make anybody. But yeah, the acts of kindness, be kind.
Right.
Yep. I love her.
And before we carry on, I do want to talk about you do some side businesses outside of children's.
Yes.
And I think we need to focus on that. Okay, I gotta admit, Carrie's been saying you were going to show up today, but I didn't buy it.
I wouldn't have bought it either.
I'm like, okay, yes.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know until we came to the door. She was tied up.
Yes.
Blindfolded.
I know.
So I didn't really investigate. I know Jamberry.
Yes.
And there was a more recent thing that you're working with, right? Makeup or something, online party.
Oh, I had an online party for Unique, but I don't sell Unique.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
See, I'm out of touch with all of this.
It's all right. Unique and Jamberry are very new to the scenes, and so everybody's Facebook, I think, is getting bombarded with Unique and Jamberry.
Yes.
So I
is Unique the eyelashes?
Yes.
Okay. Then I
yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
It is. You get falsies without having to actually put falsies on.
Do they use like the fiber wand and then the mascara wand? Okay, because Too Faced Cosmetics has had that for a couple years now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think Sephora you can buy that. But I tried it once and the little fibers got in my eye and I was like, ouch! I would prefer false lashes because much less painful, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't ever had that happen with Unique. But I don't know if it's because I don't know what the difference is between the two of them.
Right, and this was a couple years ago.
So, maybe they've improved.
So what's up with Jamberry?
So Jamberries are nail wraps.
I wish I didn't see it. That was adorable.
They are organic. They're basically organic wraps. They're 5-free, and they're heat wraps. So you heat them and just place them on your fingernails. So they're a lot safer and better for your nails than getting... Because I had acrylic nails for... I don't know, over 10 to 15 years. Ever since I was in high school. Oh, I'm old. And that's a really long time, Carrie. And so I finally took off my fake nails recently and I've been doing Jamberries, and I love them. They're so easy to put on, and they stay on for up to 2 weeks. And...
Real talk. How often do you change them?
So I change them...
Up to 2 weeks. Up to 50% savings.
Right. I change them every 3 to 5 days, but it's because I have so many Jamberries that I can't help myself. There's over 300 designs, and I have bought like 150 of them.
Oh, so you have more to go.
Yes. And this month, we're just ending a catalog, and then March starts a new catalog, and I have about 75 that I want to buy.
Oh,
so
my
I'm trying to use some of the other ones so I can wear the new ones.
And is that like the spring line?
Yes. Spring, summer.
I love spring colors. All right, so if you're into Jamberry and you need some Jamberries, Amber's your girl.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I have acrylic, and I love it.
I don't even think I have real nails underneath
I don't think so either.
You can still use Jamberry over your acrylic nails.
I was thinking that. I knew you were going to say that. Good sales lady.
You need to bring me a sample for toes, because I need to see if it withstands running without coming off.
My toenails are so small that the one time I went to go get a pedicure, the lady laughed. You have no toenails! It was funny. They're so tiny. Like, I can show you before you leave, but no pictures online. They're just tiny. So, like, even when I paint them, like, half the polish goes on the skin, and I have to, like, shower right afterwards, so it'll fall off. But yeah, you can do them on your toes.
Yes, they stay actually longer on your toenails than they do on your fingers. So mine lasts over 6 weeks.
That's the real test, if it's going to withstand when I run, because that pulls off nail polish and everything.
I bet.
Because they're heat activated, so you put them on with heat and then you take them off with heat. Or you can peel them off, too, without the heat, but it's recommended to have heat. And
that sounds like shellac.
It's like shellac, only a little bit better, just because they're the wraps and they're not going to harm your nails.
Gotcha.
As much.
And I do the shellac on top of acrylic, so I don't know what actual shellac would do to my nails. So I don't know what that effect is.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of people's nails have been damaged by the shellac, but just because of the method that it is to take them off.
Yeah, I see the aluminum foil wrapped around them.
Yeah.
But I've
it's
never...
pretty harsh.
Yeah.
But
they just file mine off. All right, so that's the Jamberry session.
Yes.
Hollywood happenings. I know I sent this to you like 3 hours ago, Carrie. Are you prepared for this?
Okay.
Okay, Saturday Night Live.
You know, I didn't get to catch it. I'm going to catch it. I did not get to catch it, but I want to.
I recorded it. It's on my DVR, and
Let's go watch it.
We'll be right
Bye. It was
back.
nice talking.
I recorded it, and I'm gonna watch it. I watched some of the YouTube clips today, like the whole Jimmy Fallon, Justin Timberlake intro, because the two of them, I love them.
And Christopher Walken was on, yes.
Did he do the cowbell thing?
I'm sure.
I'm sure too.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
Melissa McCarthy did like a tribute to Chris Farley, which I heard was pretty touching. And then Steve Martin was there.
And they did
Who doesn't love Steve Martin? I feel like you could be the daughter in...
I've heard that before.
Yeah, okay, that just came to my head as you're sitting there. What's that movie called?
Father of the Bride.
Thank you. What? Wasn't that played by Brad Paisley's current wife?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about. Carrie just kind of looked at me like I look at T-Squared when she talks about these rock bands. I'm like, who? And she's like, it's okay. All right. Anyway, so yeah, Steve Martin was there. Tom, and he was joined by Tom Hanks, Alec Baldwin, Melissa McCarthy, Miley Cyrus, Peyton Manning, Billy Crystal, Paul McCartney, Paul Simon. I heard Kanye performed. Not sure why. And there was just a whole slew of guests. 40 years, you're going to accumulate some guests.
They did some old clips, too, of Gilda Radner, and she was so great. Rosanna Dana.
Oh, yeah.
And Mary Catherine Gallagher was back, Molly Shannon, and Debbie Downer. She was one of my favorites as a child. So I know all this. I'm very excited to watch the full show. I don't watch Saturday Night Live on a regular basis.
I don't either. It goes through stages where it's funny, and then it's like, seriously, this is funny now to the kids. It's not
right.
I liked it in the very beginning when there was not politically correct, and it was hilarious. And
but have you seen the Justin Timberlake one?
Oh my god, I love
Justin.
Oh my god, Justin Timberlake is hilarious.
Is he?
He is like
hilarious. Trifecta, and yet he doesn't use it as much as he could. He could be J-Lo.
He's hilarious.
You know? Yeah, because he's got the dancing, the singing, the acting.
He doesn't have the butt, though.
No. But he could rock those curls if he grew them back out, because I loved those in the early 2000s. Brittany was an idiot. So we'll have to check out Saturday Night Live 40th anniversary special. It was all over the news today, so I knew we had to discuss.
Yeah, I definitely need to catch it.
So one of the first times that Carrie was on the podcast, she talked about 50 Shades of Grey with me and told me how much it sucked.
Yeah.
And how much Amber was like me and loved it. And you read the books how many times?
3.
Although, talk about the conversation we had today.
I was not there. Recap.
Well, so I don't even know where to begin with it.
You and I have talked a little bit about how I feel like for the younger people it sends kind of a weird message.
And that's been all over the internet.
Christian Grey is a sociopath. Right. He is. And it sends this, they call it a love story. It's not a love story.
Well, he even says, one of the lines is, I'm 50 Shades of effed up.
Yeah, it's not a love story.
Comes across
but I think
we see it as that.
I think it sends that message, and Amber's leaning a little towards agreeing with me.
What?
I
would never have agreed to this. Had I been updated on this status.
I think it can send the message. If you're in a certain place in your life, I think it can send a weird message that women already have. If I just love him enough, he will change.
But that's when you have to follow it up with, he's just not that into you. Where there are exceptions, but then there are rules.
Yes.
And the rules would not follow this story at all.
The problem is that so many of those impressionable people who have read it, that's what they read. That's all they read. That's all they've ever read. So, they don't get that full feeling. And I am glad I watched I read the Washington Post review of it, and I read some of the other reviews, and I am glad that, it sounds to me like they tamed that down. They tamed down his sociopathic behavior. Mm-hmm. And, so I just think women already have a problem. There's too many women, not self-assured, confident women, but there's too many women who get into that frame of mind. yeah, this guy is so screwed up, but if I just love him enough. Exactly.
I can fix him.
And it's not true, especially in the case of this, because Christian Grey is a sociopath.
Right.
You know, he's totally a sociopath. So I had to tell on Amber, and she's probably regretting.
She hasn't seen the movie, though.
I have not seen the movie.
Yeah. She probably is regretting that she told me today that I am leaning a little towards your views.
Well, hasn't seen the movie. No. Her opinion's not valid.
Okay.
And I still like the book. I just was starting to see Carrie's side of it a little bit more.
No, I totally see what you're saying. I really do.
I will reiterate, though, that had the original actor been in it, Jax. When it came on to Netflix, I'd have totally watched it. Just because he's hot. Yeah, like I told Amber today, I know all these tons of people like the movie 300, and I can't tell you what it's about. It's like...
You've seen it, right?
Brad Pitt was naked.
Brad Pitt was in 300?
Right? I don't know.
Or, I don't know. He was in one of those, and he was naked. Troy.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually know what Troy is about.
Gerard Butler was in 300?
Yes. I don't think I was too into the movie Troy. I do know what it's about. I haven't seen it. But, you know, I watched the whole thing because, you know, Brad Pitt.
After Meet Joe Black, Brad Pitt got a little too weird.
Yeah. I didn't like Meet Joe Black either.
Ooh, I love that movie.
See, I didn't like it.
That was a love story.
I fell asleep.
Oh. It was a long movie, and it's dark, and it moves very slowly.
Yeah.
But, yummy. All right, so I posted my review on twogirlsandabottlewine.com, so if you want to check out my review, you have to go to the website.
And I did read it.
How was it written?
Well, it was written well. It was written a lot better than 50 Shades of Grey.
I don't know if that means much.
She's very happy that you liked the movie.
No.
That's why I kind of steered clear. The only thing I really wanted to talk about during the podcast, Hollywood Happenings, is that it shattered President's Day records. Like, it beat any other movie that was released on President's Day. And it's estimated that it's going to sell $90.7 million between Thursday night and today. And the movie only cost $40 million to make, so they're already in the black.
So, what's interesting is that it was 68% female.
Not a shocker.
I know, not a shocker, but I'm sad for those 32%, those poor schmucks who were forced to go by their woman for Valentine's Day.
Steve asked me, he's like, is it something I would like? I was like, well, there's lots of booby. Lots of boobies, right? So you might like it, Carrie, because there's lots of boobs.
You can see boobs everywhere. So.
No, there's a lot of boobs. Well, it's only Dakota Johnson, yes, and she was amazing. I'm not going to share my review, but that's
and Washington Post. That's what they were pretty honest in their review, and they did talk about what crappy writing the book was, but they said she did a very good job.
And who's her mother?
Melanie Griffith.
I heard that her performance in 50 Shades of Grey was much better than any of Melanie Griffith's performances all put together.
Well, I wouldn't say that she's ever been considered the best actress ever. She's adorable, but, you know.
I just heard that, and I was like, oh, ouch. But, funny. The Oscars are next week. Actually, this week. I didn't know how to phrase that, so it's Sunday. So we don't have another Sunday before the Oscars. So it's like this week in my head. But I know technically Sunday starts a new week, so it's next week.
But time is relative, so, you know.
It really is. So are you guys excited about the Oscars?
No.
No, I actually thought the Oscars already happened.
That was Golden Globes.
Yeah. And then I thought it was the Grammys.
You don't live with a movie freak like I do. He is obsessed.
I do have to say that, I listened to last week. Your podcast was very good, very emotional, and,
there were tissues.
It was excellent, but I skipped over the Grammy part because I'm like, I still don't care.
I know, and I think that maybe we should not talk about stuff because it's already been like 1 or 2 days after, so it's kind of not relevant anymore, but then I want to talk about it because I talk about it.
No, I get that you want to talk about it. I don't do award shows just because I like what I like. Mm-hmm. And still you get on Facebook and they're still talking about what Kanye said, and it's like, so what?
Yeah, that was crazy.
So what? Let it go.
He needs to let it go. Anyway, I want to get back on the track.
Yeah.
No. Cinderella's coming. Are you guys excited?
Yes.
Amber, you hesitated.
I'm a Little Mermaid fan. So I know we're both